event news, or call in to become part of the conversation. Whatever your poison, I promise you, this one won't kill you, but it'll definitely make you feel good. Talk of the Town, where good guys and good news meet. See you Tuesday at 5 p.m.
Let's take it outside.
Hi, this is Misty Wells, your host of Let's Take It Outside. Join me every Friday, 5 p.m. on your ride home. We'll talk about getting outside, getting dirty, fishing, hunting, diving, and camping. Whatever you like to do when you take it outside. Spend your afternoons with me, Misty Wells, Friday, 5 o'clock, right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hi, this is Jay Leno. Hey, this is Ted Nugent. Hi, everybody. This is David Hobbs. Hi, this is Bob Varsho. Hey, this is Danny the Count Coker.
Hey, this is comedian, author, and most importantly, vintage race car driver, Adam Carolla.
Hi, this is Shirley Cha-Cha Muldowney.
I'm John Forrest.
Hey, this is Jack Roush.
And you're listening to Nostalgic Radio and Cars.
That's Nostalgic Radio and Cars with the most fascinating and legendary names in motorsports every Tuesday from 7 to 8 p.m. right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Don't miss Recovery Collective with Tom Liu, Wednesdays 5 to 6.
This is Chris Frenna, 9 Inch Nails, Marilyn Manson.
This is Amy Dresner.
Michael Sweet Riper. This is Jack Russell, the Great Wag.
Ricky Rackman here. Don Jameson.
Jim Florentine.
Romeo T. Crook.
This is Jerry Dixon. Warren.
It's Chris Jericho.
Alts Bridge.
Bill Liberty from Firehouse.
This is Kelly Kagi from Night Ranger.
Yeah, the
one, the only
Tom Liu. Crank it up. Nice.
It's Recovery Collective with Tom Liu, Wednesdays 5 to 6, where recovery rocks.
If you would like to become a wholesale buyer of the premium quality longevity product that you hear about right here on the Tan Talk Radio Network for personal service, you can pick up the phone right now and call Lola at 727-441-3311. Again, that's Lola at 727-441-3311. Or for even faster service, log on to tantalkhealth.com. That's tantalkhealth.com. Here's your health and longevity.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
It's Monday. Do you need some Monday motivation? The Shop Local for Good News team is here. I'm Karena Morrison.
And I'm Lisa Walls.
And we're bringing you the good news stories of our neighbors doing good in our neighborhoods.
You can find us on Facebook Live on the Shop Local for Good page. And we're looking forward to your calls.
Let's get this Shop Local for Good News conversation started, shall we? Good morning. This is Shop Local for Good News, Monday Motivation. I'm Karena Morrison.
I'm Lisa Walls.
And we are raring to go. We got a packed show today. We want to give a sponsor shout out to the MarketSpace for Good. The MarketSpace for Good is a community market, but it's way more than a shelf. We have currently have 10 families that are offering their local products and services. And we're also an incubator, a family-owned business incubator. And every week we have a local loyal shopper reward. We're still looking for a pithy name for that. So if you have an idea, drop us a contact us form on shoplocalforgoodnews.com. And we'll have a sponsor later in the we'll have a drawing later in the show from our shoppers.
Very great. And one of our merchants who are at the MarketSpace is actually going to be a guest on today's show.
Yes, Denise is going to be a guest on today's show. She's currently hardly, that's not very nice of me, working in the kitchen. And she's going to bring us some tasty treats with her fruit butters.
Okay, that's kind of exciting for
breakfast.
Us.
Yes. We'll try to describe the taste to you as good as possible. But just know that it's absolutely delicious and it's all local made and really good for you too.
Right. And we also have another guest with us this morning. The Benevolution Foundation is proud to present. Christine Hanlon is here from Kids Campaign.
Yes. And we want to get started because this September is a special month for your organization. Can you explain what September is?
Yes. Good morning. And thank you for having Kids Campaign here this morning. We really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month for those who do not know. And Kids Campaign is a nonprofit organization that supports local pediatric cancer families here in the Tampa Bay area.
So you usually have an annual event. And but we're going to get to that a little later because I want to delve into that because there's some opportunities for local market vendors too to help out your mission and get to be out in the community. So, but let's talk about mac and cheese. Do you mind?
No, I love mac and cheese.
Awesome. Because the People's Choice Award competition started on September 1st. And that's an online competition for all of the nonprofits that are participating in this year's event. And Kids Campaign will be returning this year. You were there last year. We had a blast.
It did. It was a great time.
And so you can actually vote online for Kids Campaign. You go to shoplocalforgood.com and you can go to Shop Local for Good News because I put a big fat banner on the top of that one too. And basically it's a $2 donation to the Benevolution Foundation because the Benevolution Foundation is managing all the voting. And they vote for Kids Campaign and Kids Campaign gets the proceeds of all the votes. And what we did a little different this year, instead of leaving it all to the nonprofit, is you have a team behind you. You get some small businesses that are going to help you out.
That's great.
Yep, we have, in fact, we've got one coming in from the kitchen right now. It's Denise with Aunt Nisi Specialty Foods. And we have Jerky Man Dan's. He does exotic jerkies. He was there last year, too. We ran into him in Tarpon Springs, and Lorena saw him about halfway down the concourse, and she's like, Jerky Man Dan's here. So she likes herself some jerky. What'd you get, Mina? Gator jerky. She got gator jerky.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Gator jerky.
It's really good. Yeah. It didn't make it all the way home. We were kind of starving. So
did it taste like chicken?
Yes, it did. It tasted like chicken.
Then it's all right.
And we also have Elaine with Bows and Butterflies. She was there at Mac and Cheese last year. The family's returning. And then we got the Bacon Boss food truck. So all of their votes, because they're competing too. So if you vote for them, then Kids Campaign gets the proceeds of their votes. So it's all about maximizing.
Right.
That's what Shop Local for Good does. We maximize. We try to maximize the community effort. So online voting began on September 1st, and it continues until October 26th. And we will be getting you some hard copies of those ballots. Okay. On October 1st.
Okay.
So if people want to connect with you and get to talk to you a little bit more about Kids Campaign, then you'll have them on hand. Say, hey, got $2 in your pocket.
Perfect.
While we are talking, so let's talk about September 15th, Saturday, September 15th, running and donuts.
How does that go together? But somehow it works.
It's called the Sugar Rush Run. And it's the Krispy Kreme Challenge at Gadsden Park. Now, we have to give a disclosure that it has nothing to do with the actual company.
Correct.
It's just such a well-known, everybody thinks donuts.
Right.
Yeah. So you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So the Sugar Rush Run is Saturday. It's going to be at the Gadsden Park in Tampa. And we are looking for volunteers to help us with that event, help them organize the event. We can bring as many volunteers as we can get, but if we can at least get 10, we'll get $30 per volunteer, which will then in turn, for our efforts with helping them with their run, Kids Campaign could get up to $300 donation check for our organization.
I really love it that they do that.
I like it because it kind of goes with our mission.
It does. We should talk about your mission. Well, I just jumped right into the events because the events are fun, but they all tie into your mission. But let's finish up with the Sugar Rush Run because there's something we want to encourage the runners to do.
Yes. So if you would rather run and eat donuts and not volunteer, which is probably more fun, you can sign up. And if you use our code Sugar Kids 2018, kids will get a $5 donation, plus you'll get $5 off the registration fee. So it works for the runner and it will work for our charity, which will be great.
I love that. So for every runner that signs up, they get $5 off. And if they use your code, which I think is fantastic, Sugar Kids 2018.
Mm-hmm.
That's Sugar Kids 2018. Think about it for a minute. They're going to match the $5 donation to Kids campaign, and that's unlimited, right?
Right, that's correct.
Okay, so all the runners in Tampa Bay, you'll just need to do the Sugar Rush run, and then when you register, make sure you're thinking about Sugar Kids 2018, so that Kids campaign gets a $5 donation. That could add up.
Yeah.
And because your nonprofit is locally focused, you do some families that reach out to you from across the country on occasion.
Correct.
And you're all volunteer managed and run. That $5 goes a lot farther than giving $5 to one of the big guys.
Yes.
That $5 gets eaten up in
administration costs. I don't know, but it gets,
most of it.
Yeah.
So that's good. Now, I'm going to let Lisa go into
the next event that we've got to talk about that benefits kids. It's Thursday, September 20th. It's the Let's Ride Bike Night in Hudson. It's on State Road 52. And apparently it is for, if there are vendors who might be interested in the bike night, there's somebody they can contact at Let's Ride. Her name is Lisa too. So, and you can contact her at 727-815-1900.
Now, all this information is available, so you're not scrambling on a pen, looking for a pen while you're driving. Let's be safe, shall we? If you go to the Shop Local for Good Facebook page and go to our events, and I'm going to send you on a hunt. You can go to the radio show event, and I've posted it I posted the flyer, and then I posted Lisa's contact information in there. So all market vendors, all my market vendor family, they can reach out, and the prices are very reasonable, and they're all going to Kids Campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And it's an evening event, so 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And it's to benefit kids' annual childhood cancer awareness.
That's your annual event.
Yes, we do every year. This will be our 4th year. We do our annual event in September. Prior years, it had been a poker run. This year, we changed it up a little bit with a bike night instead.
So you're staying in one spot. Those poker runs are a lot of work.
Oh, they are.
They're a lot of work.
A lot of work, a lot of fun. And sometimes the biggest struggle for the smaller local charities is getting the help needed for them. So
right. So that's okay. Kids Campaign has a dual mission. And I'd like to go into that a little bit because I'm a huge fan of the volunteerism part of your mission. And, collecting donations through that is such a unique way, because I've been reading a book, and we're going to go into that later. And it's about bartering. So basically, you have found a way to incorporate bartering into your mission and ways to raise funds, correct?
Correct. You could say that. I believe this is God-inspired, so I'll just say that first. But mission is dual, like Karena said. It's first to instill kindness through sponsored community service activities. And then secondly is to share love with pediatric cancer families by easing their burdens and celebrating their joy.
Terrific. So can you explain some ways that they would be able to, my favorite analogy is the young person, because I love getting young people involved, and say there's like a neighbor down the street that needs some help. So how would they do that?
Well, I can give you an example that my son Dylan did. It helped out another nonprofit organization here in Tampa Bay, the Children's Cancer Center. So that's where we went during my son's treatment for support and assistance. And I guess you could kind of say my son Dylan has returned the favor to them by volunteering at their annual kite camp over the summer for a week. So a couple of years ago, he volunteered the whole week to help out with the kids that were going through treatment, and, you know, has that special connection since he's a childhood cancer survivor. And he wanted to set a goal. He did an individual serving campaign, and he set a goal to raise $100 for kids campaign for his volunteer efforts at another charity, the Children's Cancer Center. So he raised $200 for kids campaign while he volunteered the whole week at the Children's Cancer Center at their kite camp.
Wow. So he really maximized his time.
Yeah, he did. So, and
that's pretty sharp.
Yeah. And
you must have a smart mom.
Well, and of course, you know, you all who are listening, you may want to know a little bit about what this money goes, who need help in ways that other organizations aren't meeting these needs, these particular needs. There's some great organizations out there. We certainly don't want to take donor dollars away from them, but a lot of people don't think about that there are other needs that some of the larger organizations aren't able to address, that they're fairly simple, but they're still kind of universal for families whose children are battling cancer. Like, you know, what if the family wants to seek an alternate medical option for their child? Mm-hmm. You know, that's something that a lot of families struggle with. Is that right?
That's right. That's right. We can help them with their travel and needs to travel maybe to another state, to get a second opinion, or maybe try a clinical trial or something, you know, alternative that other organizations will support. And also, the thing is, some of these children, their treatment is longer than a year, or if they relapsed. So if their child has been on treatment or during this journey for more than a year, could go 2 to 3 years, they may have exhausted other local charities' resources that they're able to help out that family. So we like to come in and say, okay, you know, we're here to help, you know, who have you received help from already? And they let us know. And then they, you know, then we know, being an organization, sometimes there's only so much help you can do because there's so many, sadly to say, families out there that are in this horrible situation. So we like to step in on that.
We just had a dear friend, her daughter passed away this past week, and it's crushing.
Yeah.
As a mother, and that I can't imagine having to go through, and you've gone through it with your son.
Yeah.
It has to take a lot of strength.
It does, but it's you know, it's amazing. You know, when you have to do something, you just do it. You know.
Right.
Well, and you're able to, you're able to provide some life enriching experiences for the families and the kids. That's amazing. And that's one thing that our friend Leslie never failed to do, is she made sure that her daughter was living life to the fullest,
absolutely,
to the best of her ability every day that she was sick. Just because the child is dealing with a medical issue doesn't mean the child doesn't want to have fun and, you know, live the every day. And so that's actually something Kids Campaign is designed to help with.
Right. So, there's not a charity that I'm aware of anyways. I know the Make-A-Wish Foundation is wonderful, that my son did his wish through there. There's so many wonderful organizations locally and nationally that help out with these kids. But there is, as far as I know, not an organization, if your child relapse or if you find yourself in an end of life situation where the child and their family may have already had their Make-A-Wish, but now their circumstances are different. Kids Campaign wants to be there to say, okay, we're here. We're going to help you get another wish or another gift based on the situation you're now in, to help out with that.
And to celebrate milestones such as end of treatment, that's amazing. I think, you know, if the support the family receives from the community, a lot of that is so based on moral support. You know, mm-hmm. We're here for you. We're going to keep going with you. We care. We're thinking about you. We're praying for you, and celebrating those milestones is sort of like a way to regularly infuse that family with that love and compassion and excitement and positive things, right? Because the kids have to endure such negative stuff. So celebrating the milestones is a big deal.
Yeah. And so when well, just to bring up my son again, when he finished his treatment, being a single mom during the whole treatment, it's like you're just exhausted. I didn't even think about it at end of life celebration for him. Some of the friends and families we know had them, but I never had them because I faced my own struggles at the end of his treatment. And I was just like, okay, time to move to the next thing. So there's families out there, I'm sure, that you don't have the resources or the time or the mindset to think about having an end of life celebration. So if we can help them with that and help facilitate that and assist them financially so that they can kind of have that recharge in their life to look at a new path going forward, we want to be able to help them with that.
That's amazing. So you've really kind of thought of all the gaps in the system and in the current giving that families face. But of course, it's because you've been there.
Right, exactly.
Well, and so we've got the serving campaigns. What can, say, an office do?
Okay.
I love some of the examples she has.
Like
like
a jeans day, like my work, where I work. I work for Shirkani and Bacon, wonderful people. And they'll do a jeans day. And we do it once a month, and we do it to a different charity each month. So in the past, they have done it for Kids Campaign in September. So that's a way you could do it.
So how does that work? People who want to wear jeans
pay like
donate?
$5. Yep. On a Friday, you pay $5. And, if you have 30,
I'm slapping down
people.
20. Can I wear them all week? Wait, can I pay 10 and wear flip-flops too?
That's a good one. That's a great way to do it. It's for a good cause, right?
Yep. And I live in my flip-flops.
Yes.
I'm like, wait, my feet have to be closed in? What is this?
Yep. But it can also be done at schools too.
Yes.
So workplace and schools.
Right. Like a hat day, make it fun or dress up or, however they want to do it. With the serving campaign being community service, I mean, your possibilities are endless. So you can be very creative with it. You can set it up, a serving campaign, either a group or an individual, and do it so maybe it's going to benefit you as well. Like say you have a school project and we need to paint the restrooms in the school. You set it up so you do that and you raise money for Kids Campaign at the same time. And there's no set dollar amount. Whatever the volunteer person and the sponsor decide that they want to, sponsor your services for whatever community service project is what it is.
And one thing I love about what you're leveraging here is it's real community members pulling together. No outside fundraising firm is getting involved. Nobody's going to be receiving phone calls where, the person on the other end of the phone, their company gets 80% of whatever you donate. You don't have to worry about those kind of situations.
Neighborhood, neighbor to neighbor.
Yeah, this is neighbor to neighbor. It's
Yep.
local. It's going right into an organization that helps kids locally.
Now, I do want to let everybody know that we are on Facebook Live on Shop Local for Good. And I want to give a shout out to Lori. She just joined us on Facebook Live. She's actually with EB Wigs, and they are a MarketSpace vendor too. And she has a brick and mortar on Clearwater Largo Road. So thanks for tuning in early with us, Lori. Sorry.
That's okay.
When I see somebody is on
Absolutely.
Facebook Live that early, I'm just like, oh, must give her props.
You get a shout out.
Absolutely.
For getting up early with us. So those are some great ideas. Do we have any more unique and interesting? You can get really creative with your serving campaigns.
Well, you could sponsor yourself too. Say you volunteer every month at the animal shelter on the fourth Saturday of the month for 4 hours.
Right.
You've been doing that for years. Okay, well, this year, for this month, I'm going to sponsor myself. I'm going to donate $50 to Kids Campaign and continue to do what I've always done, what I love, to help my favorite charity out. So it's a win-win. It's a 360 win-win for everybody.
That's why we get along so well.
I know. That's why I love you. You ladies are awesome.
So I've known Christine for years, and she's just one of those. She's another one of those serial volunteers. Not Lucky Charms people. I'm not talking about Lucky Charms. But she does a lot for the community, and she's very passionate. And you took a potential, a huge challenge in dealing with your son's illness while you're a single mom, and you turned it into something really fantastic. And I'm excited about that. Now we've got a break coming up. So for those of you in Facebook land, you'll get to hear our chit chat in the background. But we are going to, we've got some sponsors that we want to give a shout out to, and they've put together some really unique ways to get engaged in the community. So we'll be back. Shop local for good news on the Tan Talk Network. This is Karena.
And this is Lisa.
And we will be back with Monday Motivation.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you love literature, you know nothing makes you feel closer to home than works by local authors. Right now, find printed collections by acclaimed poets and writers of Gulfport at MarketSpace for Good's Local Authors Showcase, 6785 46th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. Stop by and let the Shop Local for Good team arrange to have your purchase autographed by the author. The Local Authors Showcase, 6785 46th Avenue North in St. Petersburg.
Macaroni and Cheese is coming back to Palm Harbor to the beautiful campus of New Hope Church, and we are looking for you to give you early bird armband specials with Noah's Ark Petting Zoo coming back with their pony rides and more. We want you to get the bonuses that we're offering. That's shoplocalforgood.com to find the early bird activity armband bonuses at the annual Macaroni and Cheese Fall Festival. Get your early bird armband specials at shoplocalforgood.com.
For years, Gulfport has been a haven for artists, poets, and storytellers. And now something special is happening in Gulfport. Now, Sumitra Espresso Lounge is hosting weekly live readings by local poets and short story writers. Each reading is followed by an open mic segment. Sip on your favorite espresso while listening to local published authors or present your own work every Wednesday evening at 7 p.m. Sumitra Espresso Lounge is located at the corner of Beach Boulevard and 29th Avenue in downtown Gulfport.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Welcome back to Monday Motivation with the Shop Local for Good News team. We're here with Christine Hanlon of Kids Campaign. And she has a story that I think is important to know, because there's a lot of ways that pediatric cancer families need help that people might not understand, you know.
Yeah. So, Christine, if you could just share with us what you shared with us earlier.
Sure. There's a local family here. Michelle has 3 children, and her youngest child's son, Michael. Kids Campaign was able to assist them actually when he was traveling to Boston to get his second transplant. He had leukemia. And so we were able to help with that, help with some clothes. Of course, going from Florida to Boston during the wintertime, you're going to need some warm clothes. So we were able to help out with that. And we were able to help out Michelle, the following year. The biggest need is financial for these families. That's what we find. And so we are able to help her out with gift cards for gas and food when she was traveling, especially going up to Boston, help her pay some bills, anything that needed to be paid. And unfortunately, Michael lost his battle March 10th. I think it was a year ago, this past March 10th. But we were able to help another family locally who, Tyler, he had leukemia as well. I think it was 3 times. And they had to travel to Pennsylvania every 3 months to get follow-up blood work and just to follow-up visit and everything like that. And there was another wonderful organization, I believe it was Alex Lemonade Stand, had helped them out with their flight and stuff like that. But again, these families, they're in this for, 2 or 3 years, and, you keep, you feel bad, keep going back to the same organization. Well, if there's another organization that may be able to help you out, to give some relief to that organization, or just kind of, get to build a relationship with another charity that can help you out in the future as well, then, it's a good thing to maybe look into that. So Kids Campaign was able to buy a plane ticket for him and his mom to fly up to Pennsylvania, get his test and come back. It's just basically like an overnight stay and then to come back.
So I have maybe an unusual question, because I kind of roll that way, especially early on Monday mornings. So the testing that they have to go out of state for, it's a special test that isn't provided locally?
Well, what happens is when the doctors here locally feel that they have exhausted all that they can do for the child in their treatment, and it's, still not working, they come back or whatever. Boston has clinical trials that family can then go participate in a clinical. That we've exhausted everything here. We recommend maybe you look for a clinical, or maybe go to Boston and get a second opinion, or, see what they have to offer up there.
Okay.
So that's what happens. They go up there and then they're on this clinical trial, and then they just have to keep going back up there. There's another little family, Tara and her son, Jake. He has a brain tumor, and we've helped them. They're here locally here in Orlando. And so we've been able to help her with her bills. She's a single mom too, and she has 3 kids. And, just the things we take for granted. We help the family with car insurance so that they can have it paid, because they use that vehicle to transport their child to their treatments and stuff like that. This mom, she's going back and forth from Orlando to Boston for care for her son. Plus she has her own health issues. And, a phone is important in just day-to-day life, never mind when you're traveling out of state with a sick child. So,
right. And Kids Campaign vets these families too, and you actually directly paid their bill.
Correct.
That's sharp. That's very smart.
Well, it gives whoever is donating their hard-earned dollars, it gives them confidence that money is actually going to the need. And I don't know anybody who doesn't have compassion for families struggling with pediatric cancer. But I think the question that people ask, what can I do? Really, seriously, what can I do? I don't have a lot of time. I don't have a lot of money. There's not a lot of extra, but it doesn't take much extra if people are pulling together actively and, and engaging in a lot of the programs you've got. And
donating local.
Yes.
And by local, I mean, you can be, if you're listening in California, Kids Campaign is local. A local definition to me is obviously neighborhood, but it's also, all volunteer managed, a worthy nonprofit. I've known Christine 4 years. There's no hinky-pinky going on with the money. I mean, their level of nonprofit, unfortunately, doesn't get rated by the big, rating organizations, because, the rating organizations put too high of a burden on them to get rated.
Yes, they do.
$1 million a year for 5 years, just for one of the rating organizations to rate you. And when there's Kids Campaign, and there's so many others that are worthy.
Right. So meanwhile, instead of going out and trying to raise that huge amount of money, you're taking the money that does come in and making sure that there are gas cards for these families. The utility bills are paid, the phone bills get paid. Because I can't imagine if you're struggling with pediatric cancer in your family that, this adding bill stress on top of that. I mean,
right.
Don't you have enough to deal with? To worry about how your car insurance is getting paid. So,
it's got to be pretty impossible for one of the parents to work, because there are so many doctor's visits.
That's true. A lot of families we know lost their job, actually. Or one parent has to then quit work to stay home and care for the child. And if there's other kids, that makes it extra hard. And then, like you said, going back and forth to treatment and follow-ups and hospital stays and all that.
So the motivation part about all of this is not only is Kids Campaign a fantastic charity, and that we can do what we can to support them, but basically empowering your few dollars, your spare time and dimes for a nonprofit like this in Tampa Bay really does make a difference.
And engaging with workplaces in the area.
Yeah.
I love that idea. I've worked at places where at the end of the year they need a charity to donate to before tax season starts, and they're looking for something. So if you happen to work at one of those kind of offices that this time of year, your CEO is looking around for an organization that's worthy to donate to help the to help the community, then this is definitely an ideal situation for benevolence in the workplace. So.
Right. And with the serving campaign, like I said, like Karena was saying, it's just, you're not just doing a donation. You could set it up or create it that where maybe it's going to benefit you as well, and have that extra impact.
Well, and for all the small business owners, small business families that are tuning in, Shop Local for Good does have a program that we have launched. It's called Passports for Good program, and Kids Campaign will be benefiting from that because it's tied to the annual Macaroni and Cheese Fall Festival. So it's basically a way to. I noticed that there are a lot of philanthropic small business owners, and mac and cheese. Have you seen how many people have RSVP'd as interested or going? We broke 8,000 interested last night. I'm like, wait. Now, they're not all going to show up, but
Right.
even if I can get a fourth of that,
Right,
it'll be fantastic. So I wanted to offer an opportunity for small business owners because these festivals are not cheap. Right. Let's just get real, shall we? Because you're providing the entertainment. You want to keep the ticket prices low. I mean, if we didn't have any sponsors, we'd have to be charging, $25-$30 for a kid to ride a pony. And that's just not doable for families. So what the sponsors do is they take some of that bite out of the ticket pricing. I mean, we're down to the early bird specials are phenomenal. It's $10 plus the Eventbrite fee, and you get either a free face painting or a free balloon art animal that's worth $4. So you're only paying really $6, and plus the Eventbrite fee. Gotta live. I'm keeping Eventbrite in business. Let's put it that way. Those are limited, and so that the small business owners, how they're coming in, is that we're compiling them as a collective, and it's limited availability because we offer exclusivity based on products and services. And so they can contact us. The publication deadline is coming soon. So they want to go to shoplocalforgood.com. I think that's where our Passports for Good program is. If not, it's on Shop Local for Good News. That's what I get for having two different websites. So we do want to encourage our small business owners to reach out to Kids Campaign as well. And maybe are you in need of raffle prizes for your annual event?
Yes. So any raffle items for bike night would be greatly appreciated.
Okay, great. And then we've got vendors.
Yep.
Vendor opportunities to be there, so you get to hang out with the great kids at bike night.
Yeah, on a Thursday night.
Nice.
Get ready for the weekend.
That's great. I love talking about local events and things that people can participate in, and Bless Kids Campaign. And, locally, we love to keep our dollars local. There's so much more power in that. And one of the things I know we talk about a lot is also empowering the local businesses that support things like Kids Campaign. But yeah, there are other ways we can support this process. Christine, you've created this great idea of exchanging time and in a donation capacity, right? The kids get out and mow a lawn and they can raise money for Kids Campaign. So there's an opportunity to trade their time for, service or in donation dollars. But we also want to support the opportunity for local businesses to be able to trade with each other. And I know, Karena, you read a fantastic book that talks about that.
Yes, well, the title of it is me. No cash, no problem. What I love about it is we give a shout out to Lola. This was actually her late husband that wrote it, Dave Wagenvoord. I'm probably ripping up that name. And it was co-written with Ali Pervez, who happens to be a rock star marketing person. But what attracted me to it is I think I've been doing this the bartering system, because when you offer people a service, sometimes it's hard for people to wrap their heads around what it's worth. I know what I'm worth, but other people are like, do I really need you? Okay, go ahead and try to build your website. But when you call me a month later, when it's all messed up, my price is going to be double. So, or, for example, when I'm kicking off one of my new and interesting, we'll call them an interesting program, some of the outside the box campaigns that I've done that have worked well as test models, test and learn. For example, Passports for Good is one of them. We did, this will be our second publication, the Macaroni and Cheese Fall Festival, and there will be 150 books. And instead of attempting to sell them, they will be used as store prizes for our mac and cheese. So your small business discount will be in that book, and 150 very enthusiastic mac and cheesy families are going to be thrilled about seeing that you supported something that's actually supporting it publicly 6 local nonprofits, but it's truly 8 because the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office Explorer Post 900, we're figuring out a way for them to raise some money too.
Well, and that local exchange allows us the freedom to kind of get creative. And that's what the book talks about. If you are willing to operate creatively, you can actually barter potentially your services and your goods for what you need. And, I think the premise is solid. Everybody's time has value. Right. Yep. So, but we have to bust through some myths first. And the book talks about, one of the big myths is only poor people barter or trade. I know that's not true because I've worked with some people in the past who they would have been happy to barter or trade their services. They needed, a law firm. They needed to be able to call up an attorney and not pay an hourly fee for a phone call, but they were willing to be that attorney's go-to person for X service, for Y service. And the attorney knew that in exchange, their time was well spent because now they have access to a quality service or somebody's quality time.
Now we do need to mention something, because the good old government got in the middle of bartering, and there are some tax, we're not tax accountants. There are some tax implications with some bartering and trading.
Right. And the book was real clear about making sure that you go to some kind of bartering organization and maybe get some consulting on that, or your accountant. But it's really just a matter of declaring the bartering. It's not illegal and it's not tax evasion as long as you declare it. There are actually special forms the IRS produces for this purpose. And if a bartering organization files those forms or you do independently, then you're in compliance. So
well, and that goes right back into kids campaign, because, for example, I've done events for a nonprofit and didn't charge them my time. That my time is actually deductible.
Yes.
So I just have to make sure to write a note and tell my accountant next year how many thousands of dollars he's going to look at me and go, Karena can't deduct all this. But, it is valuable.
Well, and that's another myth, is that somehow you're getting something for free. But really, no, it's a fair exchange of time or service or products. So, and another myth is that the products or services that you barter are going to end up being substandard. People are only going to give you the dregs. Well, not, that's part of the setting those expectations. Yes, if I went to a hairdresser and I wanted to barter my services for the hairdresser services, I don't expect to be able to demand that I get my hair done when I'm going to be there in an hour, but a normal client wouldn't be able to. They'd have to schedule an appointment. So if I work with a hairdresser who is actually open to bartering, and I just have to schedule an appointment like a regular client, and but I'm not getting a lesser product or service just because I'm bartering with them. So and it's not haggling, and a lot of people are actually doing it. You just may not realize it, right?
It's kind of fun.
Well,
it is.
I just had this conversation last week with somebody about bartering, and I was telling her, communities, a lot of communities now have community gardens. Well,
yes.
Not only have a community garden, but maybe also incorporate a bartering directory. So within your community, you sign up. This is my name, my contact information. This is my skills or my trade that I do or my products. And that way people could look in the directory. Oh, well, I need this, or like I'm a notary. So if someone in my community needs something notarized, they can just look me up. I'll come by, I'll notarize it, no charge, no nothing, and you have a directory right there in your community.
Oh my goodness.
That's a fantastic idea.
That's a great idea for MarketSpace.
Yeah. And if there's
barter,
Yeah. And if if you have interest in a product or service or somebody who's providing that and you want to introduce this idea, the book does recommend, don't ever say, I want to trade with you, because people say, well, does that mean you want it for free? Or does that mean, it has an unnecessarily negative connotation. Instead say, I want to buy what you have, but I want to buy it in the form of my notary services.
Okay.
Right. So I want to buy this, but I want to do it in a different way. I want to use my notary services.
Well, that shows respect for what they're offering.
Yes, exactly.
It's all about respect. Because I find that you have to be very clear about your value. I posted this on Facebook yesterday because I keep running into that. When you're offering something that's valuable, you have to be extremely clear about the value, or people don't recognize it if they're not in that realm, for example.
Absolutely.
So,
and the thing is too, for me, like I usually don't have too much money, but I probably have more time than money sometimes.
Right.
So it's like, okay, I can volunteer, and I know that volunteer time is not monetarily, but it can be so much more than that, because it's time. Money
it's priceless.
Yeah, exactly. Money, you can always get back money, but when time is gone, time is gone. So that's, to us, I mean, Kids Campaign, just having your time sometimes is a lot more valuable than your money.
Well, and we've talked before about how family enriching it is as well. I mean, doing a serving campaign as a family builds stronger families.
Right. And you're instilling those values into the children, like the mac and cheese event.
Right.
You take your family there and you get to show your family, your kids, hey, this is what you do. You support your local businesses. By the kids going there, they see that and they get to be part of that.
Well, it's fun.
Yeah.
And it's mac and cheesy.
Right.
And what's going to be there, Lisa?
Pony rides. I just think that's adorable. I mean, nobody does that anymore, right? But it's such a great photo op for parents.
Yeah, right. Noah's Ark on Wheels. Marissa's family is going to be there again with the ponies and the deluxe petting zoo.
Yes.
Sorry, I got distracted by mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Lisa is such a phenomenal researcher. Did you have another point about No Cash, No Problem? I highly recommend this book. It's No Cash, No Problem: How to Get What You Want in Business and Life Without Using Cash. It's by Dave Wagenvoord.
Yeah. And, he really goes does a great job of explaining that, look, some of these myths that only poor people barter, or that bartering is illegal, that services are substandard, they really are myths. That people will trade with you if you say, I want to buy, but in the form of my service. And, you don't have to haggle. It's just a matter of opening up the door and seeing if they want to, shake your hand and step through. But I love the idea that Christine, that you had of let's create something.
A directory.
Let's create a directory.
I'm on it.
I love it.
Wagenvoord. Thank you, Ed. Ed is our producer. And this is Lola's late husband, Wagenvoord. Dave Wagenvoord. No Cash, No Problem. Thank you, Ed.
So I imagine
Ed's keeping me in line on the pronunciations.
So I imagine if you're a small business or you're an independent contractor, you provide a service or a good that you think you might want to be interested in, maybe a bartering directory, just reach out to us. Shop local for good news.
Yes.
And
because I just figured out another way that it could be huge too, because the Benevolution Foundation is launching our mentoring program in 2019. So being part of that directory could help sponsor one of the kids that we want to help.
Well, and we're focused on connecting small business owners with opportunities to support the community and support families in the community. And just, like Mac and Cheese is an opportunity to support a family-friendly festival, which is fantastic. But also Passports for Good sponsorships are available.
Yes, and I have sponsorships of the passports for right around $100.
Wow.
And I will promote you and tell the world that you're pretty mac and cheesy awesome. For anybody that knows, I actually can design your discount card for you. I designed the online promotion. Did I tell you I got headhunted for a graphics design place the other day? They're like, we like your style. It's unique, which is kind of funny because I've been told they're like, you're breaking all the rules. I'm like, I like the way it looks. I don't know rules. I just, some things are just, you know how you can look at something and you're like, no, that's wrong.
Yes.
No, I will ask my daughter who's behind the camera for Facebook Live. I will work 1 to 2 hours on a promotion because I'm there and walk away and go back and like something's wrong. I'm a perfectionist, which is probably not a good thing when you're in graphic design.
Yeah.
Or it is a good thing.
And everybody's time has value, but you're also kind of known for making sure that time is given to worthy causes too.
Well, I respect the small business investment. I'm a small business owner. There is not a lot of extra capital that can go back, that can go out into the community, because a lot of small business owners, they're constantly having to reinvest to keep going. So trust me. And so when a small business owner like, say, Edgewater in Maine steps up consistently, or Joey Biscotti's consistently, they were in the first passport, they're in the second one. They've sponsored several things that I've come to them with, and they're just good guys. And so when I can offer them, and they're not paying me to say this, I'm just going to say that right now. They're just really good guys that care about the community. So Clyde and Michael with Edgewater and Maine up at Tarpon Springs. If you go up there, tell them you heard Karena bragging about their team, and they have a phenomenal. Lisa loves their boutique.
I'm a little in love with them because they have linens, and they're really
linens.
Special.
Yes,
and their decor is special. They do design, and
they're just special.
Just oh my gosh, they're just. And the store smells good, and they have so many yummy things to touch, and I'm very tactile. So,
Well, and if you're looking for the best brownie you've ever eaten, along with the biscotti that is phenomenal, Joey Biscotti's makes award-winning brownies.
And for our Jewish friends out there, this is Rosh Hashanah, which is a feast time of the year where we get to eat sweet things a lot. And it's sort of the focus, a little bit apples and honey, Joey Biscotti. We can do
Sounds yummy.
Lashana Tova too.
All right, we're going down to our next break. So we want to welcome you to stick with us. We are Shop Local for Good News. This is Monday Motivation, and we have Kids Campaign with us. And we're waiting on a special guest to arrive. She's got some breakfast for us. So we want to encourage you to stay with us, and we will be back soon.
WTAN, Clearwater.
FM 106.1.
WDCF, Dade City, Tampa Bay. WZHR, Zephyr Hills.
FM 104.3.
Listen.
Shifting Florence, stabilizing Obamacare. I'm Michael Toscano. Hurricane Florida is now a Hurricane 2 and heading towards substantially more destructive power. This as meteorologist Pedram Javahari sees signs Florence may be shifting north a bit before it hits Thursday.
We still are looking at potentially a strong Category 3 or a Category 4 at landfall with the system. And with the model guidance on this, very high confidence at this stage of the game, at least on this heading in, whether it be the state of North Carolina or down towards South Carolina, now beginning to shift in more towards North Carolina on into portions of maybe even Virginia.
20 to 30 inches of rain expected to cause serious flooding. A gas line explosion in Center Township, Pennsylvania lit up the sky with an orange glow this morning. Township Police Chief Barry Kramer says the situation is ongoing.
There was an immediate evacuation with cooperation of the 911 center and our fire department by utilizing reverse 911. We evacuated about 25 to 30 homes. Some of those evacuees required medical assistance, not because of injuries, but because of their medical condition out of their homes.
No injuries have been reported. Following 2 years of double-digit premium hikes and political assaults, Obamacare appears to be stabilizing.
Consulting firm Avalier and the Associated Press reports that based on available state data, millions covered under the Affordable Care Act across 47 states will see average increases of about 3% in 2019. While average prices will fall in some states, this year the average national increase was about 30%. It marks a great contrast to a year ago when insurers were fleeing the program amid uncertainty over what the Republican-led Congress was going to do to Obamacare. Scott Carr, Washington.
CBS board chairman and CEO Les Moonves pushed out last night as new allegations of sexual misconduct surface. A senior Russian official who met Kim Jong-un this weekend says Kim isn't planning any more steps to denuclearize, waiting for the U.S. to respond to steps he's already taken. I'm Michael Toscano.
You started a DIY project at home. Then you realize convenience isn't always easy. The why in DIY doesn't mean why is this so hard? At ADT, we DIFY, do it for you. We customize and install a secure smart home that you control from the palm of your hand or the sound of your voice. Smart security, designed and installed just for you with ADT. Visit ADT.com/smart to learn more. License information available at ADT.com. ADT, real protection.
There's a time and a place for black and white, like when you're learning to play piano, or when you want a big two-toned cookie, or when shopping for a pet zebra. But if you want to attract customers, there's no room for black and white. So go to Staples. Staples specializes in bold, hard-to-miss color printing. And now at Staples, get 20% back in rewards on color printing, from banners to brochures and copies to presentations. Print more color, save more money at Staples.
In-store only. Ends 11/10/18. Restrictions apply. See store associate or staples.com/20back for details.
Hi, this is John Austin, host of the Book Club on the Tan Talk Radio Network. I spent 35 years in publishing, and today I want to tell you about a book that could change your life. The book is No Cash, No Problem. The author is Dave Wagenvoord. Dave Wagenvoord is one of the greatest barter experts in the world. He's bartered over $500 million in goods and services. If you want to remodel your home, but the cost is just too high, or maybe there's an automobile that you have dreamed of owning, but thought you just couldn't afford. Well, this book will allow you to do both of those things, plus hundreds more with little or no cash. Maybe you're a business owner with a cash flow problem that leads to low or non-existing profits. Read this book and see how you can increase your cash flow and your profits by time-proven techniques. The book again is No Cash, No Problem. And you can buy it now online at www.tantalknetwork.com. Click on the book and follow the instructions, or pick up the phone and call Lola at 727-441-3311. The book costs only $6.99. So do yourself a favor and buy the book today.
Let's Go Bowling, heard on the Tan Talk Radio Network every Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 12 Eastern Time. Sponsored by 12 Strike and Innovative Ball Spinner. If you bowl, if you haven't bowled in a while, or if you never bowled, why don't you be one of 65 million people have bowled last year? Listen to the tip of the week. Bowling stars, old and new. Let's Go Bowling Show, gobowlingshow.com.
Hello there, Tampa Bay. This is former NFL and college football coach Jimmy Johnson. Listen to the Kelly Show every Monday starting at 5 p.m. They can sure use the attention.
And this is former Major League Baseball player, Hall of Famer Wade Boggs. I also hope you listen to the Kelly and Kelly Show every Monday starting at 5 p.m. they can darn sure use the money.
Hi there. This is marine wildlife artist and conservationist Dr. Guy Harvey. Please listen to the Kelly Kelly Show every Monday starting at 5 p.m. They need to feel worthy.
Live in a condo or homeowners association? Do you have issues? How about questions? Tune in to the Ameritech Connection every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Tan Talk Radio Network. That's 1340 AM and 106.1 FM. Right, Sharon?
That's right, Mike. We cover it all when it comes to deed-restricted communities. We have the answers to all of your questions and more on the Ameritech Connection every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Tan Talk Radio Network, 1340 AM and 106.1 FM.
Go yard is a metaphor used in baseball, meaning to hit a home run. Life struggles can make you feel like you just struck out. It's times like these that we need a little batting practice to pick ourselves back up and get back in the game. Whether you are dealing with marital issues, drug addiction, rebellious teens, anxiety, depression, or just generally having a bad day, call Mama Mac. If life has you down 0-2, before you strike out, learn to go yard. Go yard with Mama Mac on this radio station, Thursdays, 6 o'clock.
Show me the money. It's the Employment Opportunity Hour with Gene Hodge every Thursday night from 7 until 8.
So the purpose of the show is to help you out there to find something that you enjoy doing instead of a job. And at the start of the show, I normally give out a formula, which I know will guarantee you to find the type of job that you want right now.
Find out the formula to an enjoyable job with Gene Hodge's Employment Opportunity Hour every Thursday night from 7 until 8 here on the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Show me the money.
Hi, I'm Lou Angel-Wolf, and I've had a lot of shows on Tan Talk over the years, but our latest adventure is IMHO.love, in my humble opinion, .love. It's about humor and aha moments, and of course, we share every week with our teacher into the exo-consciousness, Michael Merberg.
Yes, here you'll learn a little bit about the Tao and how the best lives are lived simply and with patience and compassion.
And we're waiting for you to listen in with us on Wednesday nights at 7:30 here on Tan Talk Radio Network.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
It's Monday. Do you need some Monday motivation? The Shop Local for Good News team is here. I'm Karena Morrison.
And I'm Lisa Walls.
And we're bringing you the good news stories of our neighbors doing good in our neighborhoods.
You can find us on Facebook Live on the Shop Local for Good page, and we're looking forward to your calls.
Let's get this Shop Local for Good News conversation started, shall we? And we're back. This is Monday Motivation with Shop Local for Good. If you're awake and interested in what we're talking about, we do have the studio lines open. Ed would love to talk to you and transfer you over to us. Locally, it's 727-441-3000. And toll free, if you're outside of the 727-813 area code, is... Can you read that, Lisa?
It's
866-826-1348. Zero. 1340. Well, that makes sense. It's Tan Talk. 1340. We are also on 106.1, which comes in really well in my car.
Yes.
All the way down to St. Petersburg.
Yeah, that's very cool.
So we have a special drawing that we want to do every week at MarketSpace for Good. We wanted to reward our local loyal shoppers. Come on, y'all. Send me a name for this program. A local loyal shopper is okay, but I know there has to be something like creatively fun and more pithy. So MarketSpace for Good, we're going to have our drawing. This week's sponsor of the gift basket. How to get the gift basket? How do you do the gift basket? Lisa, can you tell them while I reach over here?
What do you mean? Like how to become a sponsor? Entry. Oh, that's easy because that's the easy part and the fun part. You come to the MarketSpace and you shop with us. And by shopping at the MarketSpace, you're allowed to have an entry. And this is where you can find local authors, artists, artisans, and entrepreneurs. There's more information on the website shoplocalforgood.com/@the-market-space, but it's locally crafted items, premium products, jewelry, home goods, specialty foods, personal care, artwork, local authors, and more. And it's open every day. And
Tuesday through Sunday.
Sorry, it's open Tuesday through Sunday, and
11 to 5.
11 to 5. But the thing you absolutely need to know, it's at 6785 46th Avenue North in St. Pete.
6785 46th Avenue North. That's the MarketSpace for Good, and we're gonna have Christine draw from the names, and the winner will get this lovely planter with a cute little watering can and something to grow flowers in. It even has dirt. You don't have to get your fingernails dirty. And then the special part is from the Copper Artist. It's a handcrafted dragonfly. These are very popular, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And then a handcrafted rose out of copper. So it's a rose you don't have to water.
But it's beautiful.
Yes. So I'm going to have Christine pick. Let's see who wins. Awesome. Okay, Mike Miller wins. I got a special story about him. First of all, I want to wish Mike and his wife a happy anniversary. He actually contacted the Copper Artist and had the Copper Artist design something special for his wife for their anniversary. And my family, the Copper Artist is my husband, because this is just too weird for me to talk about him in the third person. So my husband, who is not on Facebook, by the way. So if you're talking to the Copper Artist, guess who you're talking to? You, his secretary. That would be me. What a nice guy. And he drove actually all the way from Dunedin to pick up his wife's anniversary gift. And we will be sharing a picture of it on the Copper Artist page. That's Facebook, the Copper Artist. And Mike, you won the gift basket. So your wife gets a dragonfly and the copper rose too. Man, you hit it out of the park on the anniversary gifts this year. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So thank you, Mike, for coming in, and thank you for supporting local small business and local artists.
Absolutely.
So next week we will announce the sponsor of next week's basket on the MarketSpace for Goods Facebook page. That's Facebook at MarketSpace for Good. Do not listen to Facebook when you're searching for it, because it wants to put the other word in. It's not place, it's space.
Right.
It's MarketSpace. You should hear me arguing with my laptop when I'm I'm like, no, Facebook, it's not place, it's space. So, and yes, I do argue with my laptop. Just ask my daughter, who's behind the camera. Thank you to Lorena for being our film crew for Facebook Live. We are live on Shop Local for Good, on Shop Local for Good's Facebook page. I'm talking too much.
No, you're fine, because we do have some things to announce, though. Like, for example, the Tampa Bay Entrepreneur Nonprofit Collaboratives.
The Entrepreneur and the Nonprofit Collaborative. So we mentioned last week that we were going to do seminars.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone who has done a new project understands that sometimes you have to pivot. So instead, because they are a new concept, what I am going to be offering personally through Shop Local for Good are a free one-on-one coaching session. And you get to pick what you want me to look at and give you some feedback on. And then if you would like to have a little bit more work done, we'll talk about it. I hear my rates are very reasonable. They're actually extremely reasonable. So if you maybe want me to do a social media overview with you, and people don't understand, a lot of people don't understand website effectiveness. Can you just give your insight into that?
Oh my goodness.
Like if you go to a website and it totally annoys you.
Well, I mean, it's a marketing nightmare because you don't know as a business owner what's turning people off. They won't tell you.
Right.
They'll hide that from you. They're not going to say, oh, I was on your site, but in 2 or 3 minutes, I was off of your site because this was a problem and that was a problem. You really need a third party perspective in there to identify some of the issues, because your customers will not tell you your issues. You'll know because you'll know whether or not they're engaging with your site. But if they're not engaging with your site, you probably have a website effectiveness issue. And this is a good opportunity to get that dealt with constructively.
And then we can go over some community outreach strategies with you based on what I've learned over a couple of decades of reaching out into my community to encourage them to do different things that they may not have necessarily done.
Mm-hmm. Well, and your experience tells you that this is the real need that local entrepreneurs have and small businesses have, managing social media and understanding its uses, creating that effective website that keeps people engaged, and then creating a strategy for community outreach. So you can provide overviews for that.
Yes, and it's a free one-on-one coaching session. So if you want to contact us, you'll be contacting me at shoplocalforgood.com. We have a contact us page. And I will be hosting the sessions at MarketSpace for Good. So that is centrally located in Pinellas County at 6785 46th Avenue North. If you don't want to contact us through electronic means, feel free to drop into the space.
Absolutely. And, and anybody who picks up anything, the goods there are just remarkable, such great gift giving opportunities. There are people who are providing their goods there that it's not going to cost you as much as if you went to a festival to get those goods. There are certain,
or if you bought it online.
You don't have to pay for the shipping. It's right there for you. So and you'll be able to check out some of the local authors too. I know Dark Horse Florida Publishing has created a reading comprehension contest that this is kind of fun. So if you miss school and you really wish you were still taking tests, and
we love you, Tom. Gosh, we've got to get with you on naming your contest.
I really miss taking tests. I love that pressure.
It's really a fun opportunity, and I love that he came up with it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it
sounds like you're back in school, but it's a lot more fun.
No, it's a contest. It's meant to be fun. It really is. And but there is a Dark Horse Florida Publishing is sponsoring a contest. So.
Yes, and there's 2 different books that you could read, and then it's kind of like what do you do when you're searching for something?
Research it?
No, hide and seek. What's the game when you're researching? Scavenger hunt.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say
it is Monday. So yes, so there's a list of 12 questions per book. And so, and the way he designed the questions, and he was laughing about them. So it's going to be fun. And the books are pretty unique, and the books are available at MarketSpace for Good. They're also available in the library. But what you want to do to find out about it is go to Dark Horse Florida Publishing's Facebook page, and they have it listed there. So that's the reading comprehension contest. Sounds ominous, but it's a lot more fun than it sounds.
Yes. And if you're going to drop by, Sunday would be a great day to do that, because September 16th, Madhouse Mindworks, Lauren with Madhouse Mindworks, is going to be doing a braiding wire drop in jewelry class at the MarketSpace. That's kind of awesome.
It's a drop-in jewelry class at the MarketSpace for Good. So you don't necessarily have to sign up in advance. That is available on Shop Local for Good's upcoming event and MarketSpace upcoming event page on Facebook. Lauren is phenomenally patient with the kids. Lorena can tell you she had a great time at her first class, and you made a lot of bracelets, right?
Yeah.
And so what I love about it is she's going to teach wire wrapping, and she's like a master artist at this. And she goes out into, she does mining and actually mines the stones that she puts in. She's such a great young lady. I don't know. Okay. She's She's a great
she's
person.
young and
I know.
she's got it together, and she's a really neat
And
young
she's
woman.
a fantastic artist. And you can bring your own stone,
Mhm.
and she'll provide the wire and teach you how to do the braiding. Or she will have stones available that she has gotten directly from the earth for you.
Oh, that's very neat. So it's a drop-in jewelry class, and it also mentions that she can work with found objects. So it doesn't have to be a stone per se, but maybe if
Yes.
it's a little meaningful
Like a
trinket
special,
or
yeah.
something you found that you think is just cool looking. I don't know, a piece of asphalt. No, I'm sure you're looking for something.
I don't know.
quite interesting.
She does steampunk jewelry. Is that part of steampunk jewelry? Asphalt?
Could be.
But that's
Could be a new
September
trend.
16th. That's Sunday, September 16th between noon and 4 p.m. at the MarketSpace for Good.
Very cool. And then very next night is September 17th at MarketSpace. And we're going to have the $20 turnaround. And the $20 turnaround is simply a class designed to introduce families, and young people are certainly invited to this, about how $20 a month can turn around your family finances, whether you use it to save or to pay down debt. Those techniques are going to be talked about. We're going to have a special guest, Sarah Niffen. And Sarah is a financial advisor, and she does consulting. That's so she offers that service to families, but she is primarily about educating families. She's actually writing a book that should be released before the end of the month, and it's going to be geared to financial parenting. So this is a great opportunity for families to bring maybe your young teen or your bound for college teen, and try to get some real concrete steps from somebody who knows what they're doing and is expert in the field.
Now that event is on Eventbrite, and it's on the MarketSpace for Good upcoming events page. So in order to be prepared with refreshments, we do want you to RSVP and get it's $10.
Yeah, but that also covers a workbook that you're going to be able to take with you and apply all these principles. So that's a huge value.
Yes.
So, but most of all, you want to get an armband for your activities that you're going to do at Mac and Cheese. So if you go to the website, Annual Macaroni and Cheese Fall Festival Early Bird Activity Armband bonuses are available.
Yes. So we covered that earlier in the first hour, but it's just too good to not repeat. Early bird activity armbands will not be on sale after September. Or if you wait too long, they're also limited. Because what we're doing is we're offering bonuses. So if you can choose between a free face painting or a free balloon animal. And the first 100 families will get a passport for good. So yes, the first 100 families will get a passport for good, which basically is a keepsake leather personal organizer. It is not dated, so you can date it for whenever you get it. So it could be useful for all of next year if you want.
So are the discounts inside? The
discounts are not expirable.
Yes.
And we are looking for small business owners who would love to be a part of Mac and Cheese in the Passports for Good program. However, the early bird activity armbands, they include unlimited inflatable fun in 2 kids zones. There is a toddler area with a ball pit that it's going to have 1,000 of the pit balls that I bought brand new. And a big kids bouncy area. So the little kids and the big kids. So the big kids don't stomp on the little kids. It'll be happy for all. And then a deluxe petting zoo.
Mm-hmm.
And what else, Lisa?
Pony rides. So bring your phone and take those photos. I just have those memories of my kids being little and touching ponies and, petting them. And those are some of the favorite photos that I have. I only have like 14 photos of my children. I was terrible about taking pictures. So anything that gives a family an opportunity for just a great moment and a great memory. This is a great opportunity at a family-friendly festival.
Right. And we've got Folk University this year, who is a phenomenal band. We will have a celebrity panel that will be picking Tampa Bay's best mac and cheese. And the Folk University guys, shout out to Mike Twitty and John Chambers. They generously offered. I really had to twist their arm, though, to be judges for Tampa Bay's Best Mac and Cheese. And Edie Darling will be another one of our judges. And Eddie Adams Jr., he has Porch Talk Radio. He's going to be our final judge. So it's going to be a lot of fun. The people get to choose Foodie Favorite with every one of your votes. It's a $2 donation. You can vote as often as you want. There is Foodie Favorite. There's Favorite Local Nonprofit. Who would you like them to vote for, Christine?
Kids Campaign.
There we go. And then we have Tampa Bay Sweetest Treats. All of these hardworking vendors are competing for the title, and they have selected the nonprofit that is participating in this year that will benefit from the proceeds of your votes. So it's all about growing community in a fun way.
And look, you have a lot of things you can do on a Saturday. I know families have choices, but this is a once a year opportunity to get into your community, do something really fun with your kids that benefits a worthy cause. Not a lot of those opportunities going on the Saturday.
Correct. Christine, are you looking for volunteers for mac and cheese to help you with the setup?
We could use volunteers, probably 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I think Melanie's going to be there. Yeah, it's always good to have people
so
there.
You guys can maybe go get some mac and cheese.
Absolutely.
Oh, and we have Ignite Chiropractic that's coming this year. They are one of our sponsors. Dr. Serrano is wonderful, and his team will be there offering free massages. So you definitely need volunteers so that they could you'll be like, I'll be right back.
Right.
To go visit Dr. Serrano and his team at Ignite Chiropractic. So free massages.
I mean, what macaroni and cheese, massages, and pony rides. I don't know. I don't think anything I would go to on a Saturday is that cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And we will have parking on site, limited parking on site, but it's going to be more than last year. And I'm actually actively looking for a shuttle service to be a sponsor of the event. You get all the bragging. I'll brag about you, and then you'll offer rides because there is a parking mall. There's like a strip mall.
Mm-hmm.
There's a ride around the corner, and then also the church across the street is very generous about offering. They open the gate that backs up to that shopping center, so you can go straight through there. But I am looking for a shuttle service to sponsor, and I'm also looking for an event business that does events, because I would like to have tables and chairs for at least 100 people.
Oh, very cool.
Because people were sitting on the grass last year, and mac and cheese and the grass doesn't mix. I mean, it's okay. You can bring your blanket out. There's plenty of room, but I would like to have, because we're going to have entertainment, and I would just like, tables and chairs for 100 people.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity.
Opportunities.
Yeah, we have other local businesses sponsoring. You mentioned Ignite Chiropractic, but Fran Hosh Law Group is also a sponsor of the mac and cheese.
It's coming back again this year. I love their team.
Yep. So if you have an events business and you have tables and chairs, this is a great opportunity to jump on board. And if you are a shuttle service, you can jump on board as an event sponsor. So that's awesome.
And parking on site. So those are the 3 different things this year. And then we switched from having a inflatable rock climbing wall to having dueling inflatable bouncy fun. So. And then Marissa with Noah's Ark on Wheels and Noah's Petting Zoo. Her family's coming back.
Yeah. And that's November 4th.
3rd.
Oh.
You are so fired. I'm firing her, and she doesn't even get paid for what she does.
I come in on Rosh Hashanah, and this is what I get. Seriously.
You're fun. November 3rd.
Yes, November 3rd.
It's not her fault. I'm the one that's been living and breathing and sleeping mac and cheese for a year. So,
well, yeah, it's but the big deal is it's Saturday. It's the first Saturday in November.
Yes, it's always the first Saturday in November.
That's how I have to categorize.
You don't remember a date.
No. Why worry? Yeah.
It's the first Saturday in November.
Yep. So that's very cool. But there are also openings for entrepreneurs and artists at the MarketSpace. And but we do have something that's going to be at the MarketSpace for Good Facebook page, and that's the information on next week's sponsor, right? For the gift basket. Is that right? That's going to be on the MarketSpace for Good Facebook page?
Yes. Okay. So you want to go there. And we are going to we just heard from Denise, and we're going to have to bring her in next week for next week's guest. Y'all know how sometimes things in the kitchen get complicated. So we're gonna bring her in for if she's available next week.
That would be great. We love to hear from her. But we get to go back to Christine, who has very kindly stayed in the studio with us to make sure that we can really talk about Kids Campaign and the interesting things that they're doing for the community.
Sure. Right after we take a quick commercial break, let's get our gears in gear, and we will be right back.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
The Shop Local for Good News team has exciting news for Tampa Bay high schoolers. A local publishing company is conducting a short story writing contest exclusively for high school students. The theme is Scary Stories, and the contest ends just in time for Halloween. For the official rules and guidelines and to connect with the contest publishing company, send a message with the subject line Scary Stories using the Contact Us form at shoplocalforgoodnews.com. Contact us at shoplocalforgoodnews.com.
This is Karena Morrison with the Shop Local for Good News team, and we have mac and cheesy news for you. The annual Macaroni and Cheese Fall Festival is returning to the beautiful campus of New Hope Church in Palm Harbor with a deluxe petting zoo, pony rides, unlimited inflatable fun. It'll be an afternoon of fun for your family. Get your early bird bonuses at shoplocalforgood.com. That's shoplocalforgood.com, and we're looking forward to the mac and cheesy fun with you and your whole family.
If you love literature, you know nothing makes you feel closer to home than works by local authors. Right now, find printed collections by acclaimed poets and writers of Gulfport at MarketSpace for Good's Local Authors Showcase, 6785 46th Avenue North in St. Petersburg. Stop by and let the Shop Local for Good team arrange to have your purchase autographed by the author. The Local Authors Showcase, 6785 46th Avenue North in St. Petersburg.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
And we're back. Monday Motivation with the Shop Local for Good News team. And we are here with Christine Hamlin of Kids Campaign. And Christine was just telling us, for if you're on Facebook Live on the Shop Local for Good Facebook page, you are going to get to hear this again. But it's a great program to get out, and we want to emphasize that. So can you go over that again for our neighbors who are listening to us while driving?
Sure. With Kids Campaign's first part of the mission to instill kindness through sponsored community service activities, we would like to really see Kids Campaign build upon that. And actually, we just at our last meeting, we set up a little kids advisory board. So Melanie is a board member, Melanie Crowell. And then we have Julie Welch. She's going to be our volunteer coordinator, and she has a daughter, Jasmine. And then Melanie has her 3 kids, Jessica, Julia, and Gregory. And then I have Dylan. So we have a little advisory board with the kids.
I love it. I love it.
And so what we want to do is really let the kids pick and choose what charity maybe they want to volunteer at, and really help the kids instill that foundation of serving your neighbors, loving your neighbors, and serving them. And because, as the kids grow up, some of them are going to be leaders. They're going to be leaders in the community and leaders in maybe their business that they're in or whatever, and to help them instill the foundation of serving first. You want to serve first with a humble heart, and then build upon that to learn your leadership skills, I think is important.
That's resume building.
It is, but it's instructive for this generation coming up, but it's something that's going to end up feeding into our communities 20, 30 years from now. If we've built up servant leaders.
Wow.
And that's
pretty powerful.
That's very powerful. What our communities will look like in 30 years if we have more young people now being trained in servant leadership.
Right. So doing your serving campaign with Kids Campaign, whether it's an individual or a group effort, and create it any way you want it to, whether it benefits you or benefits somebody else, they can have that. They'll already have that by being in the communities and serving. And so they're going to hopefully have that instilled and have that as a solid foundation as they go forward.
Well, we did an entire show, maybe 2, on volunteerism. And that could be found on our SoundCloud account, soundcloud.com/shop local for good news. One of our volunteers, but it is so vital. It also instills empathy in children to go out, and it empowers them. So they go out and they observe the world and they identify a need. It's something they don't get in a classroom, is my point.
Right.
And then they work with their parents, they develop a plan of action, they maybe engage their colleagues, their friends in it. And what I really want parents to know is all of this can be put into a resume. I mean, it can be put on their resume that they developed a campaign and successfully completed it and led a team. And that's huge. You can start doing that when you're 12, 11, 10. Well, Alex's lemonade, how old was she? 8?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
I think she was 8.
you get these young people.
She has really good lemonade too.
Yeah, they're incredible. the youth is incredible.
I think she was on Shark Tank. I think that's where I saw her.
Oh, wow.
Yep. Yeah. And so she developed her own lemonade. She had it. We're going to see if we can get Aunt Nisi next week, because there's a lot more to just making a fabulous food product. There's regulations, there's co-packing, there's all kinds of hoops that you have to jump through. And, you can have a phenomenal product and then get caught up on the obstacles of those kind of things. So I got off on fruit butters. But, Kids Campaign does the homeless breakfast. Can you give them a shout out?
My coworker Peggy Cantor and her husband Mike and their team, every Saturday, in downtown Tampa, they assist with feeding the homeless, and they've been doing it for like 6 or 7 years, and it's a tremendous value to those people in downtown and the people that attend it regularly. So Kids Campaign, we've done a few of them. We'll assist them. That's one of our group serving campaigns. So we go there to assist another organization that's already doing something. So we're just there to, okay, tell me what you need me to do, and as we know, that's like one of the things that are hard to get sometimes when you do things like this, to get the hands and feet that you need to get the job done.
Well, some people are uncomfortable with just showing up and saying, okay, what do you need me to do? Because they're like, what are they going to tell me to do? Some people aren't as outgoing as some of us. I don't know.
Well, sometimes it's a matter of being direct and just, going through the process of asking. But if you don't even know what questions to ask, you have to be guided. Right. So this is good. This is a really good opportunity for that.
And that's a good tip for volunteers. Don't be afraid of the project. Ask questions.
Yes.
Yeah. Please ask questions. I'm going to repeat that. If you're confused about a project, ask questions. There's nothing wrong with it. Nobody's going to think you're stupid. I promise you.
And I know I'd rather take my time to answer a direct question from somebody who's interested.
Yes.
Than, beating myself up over all the people who aren't. So if you're interested,
replying.
Right.
Yes.
If you're interested, go ahead and ask the questions. You're going to get some special attention because you're demonstrating some real interest, and people aren't going to mind sharing whatever they know with you. So.
And listen, if they mind questions, move on to the next nonprofit.
Yes.
because that means they're not going to appreciate your time.
That's true. It's happened to all of us, I think, where we feel unappreciated. We're trying to give, we're trying to do something good, and we get crickets back. That's a horrible feeling. But that's one of the reasons why we love supporting local worthy nonprofits, because it's less likely to happen in an environment where people feel that sense of community.
Right.
And,
and there are some very worthy nonprofits that are listed on the Shop Local for Good news or shoplocalforgood.com. If you Google Shop Local for Good, there's all kinds of places you can find us.
So, Christine, if you don't mind sharing about your son Dylan and your journey that led you to Kids Campaign.
Okay, so Dylan was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma soft tissue at the age of 9 on August 23rd. Oh, geez, it's been a long time now, 2010. And so when the dermatologist removed it because they thought it was a cyst, and it turned out to be cancer. So he went to the oncologist. They couldn't find any other traces of that cancer in his body, but because of the type of cancer it was, he still had to do the same aggressive treatment, which was in the hospital every other week for just about a year.
Wow.
Getting treatment and, running into all kinds of complications as all these children do. And so it was in the middle of his chemo treatment. It was March 2011 that I had the idea for Kids Campaign, at least what I thought was my idea. Then I believe, like I said, I believe it's God inspired. And then it just kind of went aside. I reached out a little bit on it to find out more, see if we could do anything with it. But of course, that was the middle of his treatment. So I had other things going on and doing and trying to work. And my work was absolutely wonderful through his whole entire treatment. And I realized how grateful I was to have that, because there's a lot of families that, like I said, they lose their job or they get a hard time from their work. And it's just, it's horrible. But and so that's how it came to be. And it was incorporated on February 14th, 2013. So we're 5 years, been around for 5 years, and we're just small, local. And, Melanie Krause on the board, and Julia Welch, like I said, is going to be the volunteer coordinator. So it's taken us a long time to do things. And, in the beginning, I wanted it like all done right away. But then I realized, how to be patient, and it takes time. And, so we do what we can when we can, because we have family and full-time jobs and stuff. So if we could, a lot of charities have someone who work their charity full-time, which is, you can get so much more accomplished. But, we just keep plugging away and chipping away and chipping away, and things happen eventually, not as quick as I like them to happen. But we're getting there. And
is there any skill sets that you are open that you need help with? Are you
just
looking
like
for
volunteers,
web developers? Are you looking for an accountant? Are you
a
looking
website? I would love to create it and just get a little more together, so to speak. But that costs money,
right?
And we don't want to take money away from the families that we want to assist. So our website's kind of just in limbo right now.
There's also something really quick that people can do. If you're on social media, they can be part of your social media team, and I'll tell you what that entails. It's if you go to Kids Campaign's Facebook page and you check it once a week and you share, or you like.
Mm-hmm.
You can check it more than once a week, but that's like 5 minutes a week that somebody can help you spread the word. And it's power of people concept. You get 10, 20, 50 people doing that, and their connections are then brought into your circle. So it doesn't cost them a thing. It's about 5 minutes a week just to check your page and encourage their friends and family to support whatever you're doing.
Just like and share the information.
Like and share. Do you have there is an event set up for your bike night, correct?
Yes.
So we want them to directly go to that bike night event and let them know that you're going. Okay, so you select going, and then there's a button that says share. It's a drop-down menu. I'm going to do this over the radio. And when you click on share, the drop-down menu says invite friends, send a message, and then it gives you a list of When you hit invite friends, it gives you a list of people.
Right. Yeah.
I was talking Christine through this on the phone yesterday, so I know it can be done.
That's right.
So you look at your phone, and then it has a list of friends, and she goes, "Oh, I can't do them all at once." And I said, "Nope." So what you're doing is you just invite. And let me tell you why that is extremely important. It takes a little bit longer. It's kind of like a video game,
right?
Only more productive. Facebook will then notify your friend directly that they have been invited by you to that event. Much more powerful.
Yes. We invited people to our show today, and I know I've heard back from them already going, what is this about? And so it is very powerful. People will see it. Unlike a lot of things that get posted on Facebook, this is one of the things that ups your
and
view.
Then what you do to follow up with that, and I try to encourage people to understand that, because Facebook wants to fight spam. I get it. So when you're sharing an event, you want to share it on your page, say something about it. Don't just directly share it to your page, because Facebook will assume that it really doesn't mean that much to you, and it won't show that post to your friends.
Yes.
Unless they're close friends and they get every single one of your posts.
Yeah.
I think we're close friends.
Yeah, I get all your posts.
I know. I wake up in the morning and I'm like, woo, Christine was awake last night. But you share a lot of really good stuff. There's very few people that I am close friends with, because I have like over 2,000 friends, and I would get nothing done if I was close friends with everybody.
Right.
However, let's go back. I just wanted to give that brief social media overview. So inviting friends directly to an event is more powerful than just sharing it. When you say that you're going to the event, it will also come up in your news feed. It will notify your friends that are in the area that you're going to be at an event that's close to them.
That's right.
So, and then.
Well, even if you put that you're interested in the event, it's going to start. No?
Nope. You have to be going.
You have to be going.
So I'll be going to a lot of events then. Not really, but.
Because I get, sometimes when my friends are interested in an event, I get some.
Do you get notified?
I get notified on some of them. But it's not nearly as powerful as clicking going. That's when.
I mean, don't fib. You want to be going to the event.
Yes.
So if you support an event, this is a triple threat way to increase the turnout.
Well, I mean, like for something like the Sugar Rush Run, the Krispy Kreme Challenge at Gadsden Park on South McDill Avenue, this is something you're interested in going to, click going. If you find out later you can't, at least you've had the opportunity to support the mission of Kids Campaign, because everybody will see it on your Facebook list that you are going. And so even if you can't at the last minute, you've still done a little to support the program when you've talked about it on Facebook.
So that's September 15th.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The Sugar Rush Run, Krispy Kreme. Now I want donuts. We want to give Kids Campaign needs 10 volunteers.
Yes.
And you'll know that they will donate $30 for you coming out to have are they going to get donuts? Are your volunteers going to get donuts?
I don't know. We may. Maybe leftovers.
That's awesome. And then if you're a runner in Tampa Bay, you want to register, and you will get $5 off. There's a $5 off code, and they will match the $5 with a donation to Kids Campaign if you use the code SugarKids2018.
So
Kids 2018.
If you're a runner, you want to support a runner. I mean, it's going to be at 7:30 in the morning is when registration opens, and the run starts at 8 a.m. and it ends at 10:30 a.m. It's going to be beautiful out.
Great way to start your day.
Yes. Yep. That's going to be fantastic. And then, of course, September 20th is when Kids Campaign is got the Let's Ride Bike Night in Hudson on State Road 52. So that's an evening event, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. So this is another opportunity to click going.
And then free to attend, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Yep. So get interested in those events, and that can be your contribution to Kids Campaign.
Right. And they can help us bring awareness to September being Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And so having these events in September is perfect.
Right.
To help bring that awareness, and we'll provide information about that at our table at these events. to let people know.
Well, and we want to bring awareness to what Kids Campaign is doing because you are unique. You know, your motto is kids helping kids. I don't know anybody else who's doing that, who's bringing the serving campaigns as a way children can get involved to help children in dealing with pediatric cancer. So the serving campaign, they find a neighbor, friend, relative, or business, ask that friend, neighbor, relative, or business if they'll sponsor you to do a community service. Then you decide on a task. So if you want to do yard work or you want to babysit, I mean, you're probably already doing those things anyway. Cleaning, car washing, running errands for somebody.
Oh, I have an idea. Because it reminds me of when I was a kid, and I'm going to age myself. And you brought home the sponsor sheet for how many miles you were going to walk, and then as kids we all walked around the track.
Yeah.
So
organizations still do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, do they? So I have a fun idea. They can now. Okay, we don't want you to get hurt, but you can get somebody to sponsor you to walk through the neighborhood and maybe do a Facebook Live while you're at it, talking about Kids Campaign. And I don't know. I'm me. I think outside the box.
That's kind of minute Facebook Live or 20-minute Facebook Live.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's your creativity. If you're raising the money through the serving campaign, you just go to your sponsor and you would tell them to make the funds payable for the community service activity that you do to Kids Campaign, Inc. And the money you raise will go towards helping a pediatric cancer family in need.
It's like community service for a cause.
Yeah.
Community service for a cause.
That's amazing. And the kids are directly involved.
Right. And they get to kind of pick and choose what they want to do. I like this, my son would probably work at the animal shelter. We just did an animal shelter thing through my work, a volunteer day, and we turned that into a mother-son serving campaign, and we donated $25 to Kids Campaign for our morning volunteerism at the animal shelter.
Right.
Now, where do they donate? Do they donate through your website?
They can. If they go to a website, we have a PayPal account, a donate page there, and it goes right to our PayPal account.
And your website?
Is kidscampaignsharinglove.org.
That's kidscampaignsharinglove.org. I will share that link. You are on the Shop Local for Good page as one of our recommended local nonprofits. So, and the link on Shop Local for Good, I think it's my recommended people that will connect them directly to your website, Facebook page, one of them.
Okay.
Or both. I need to update that website. So we also want to definitely remind everybody that the People's Choice Challenge is open for Mac and Cheesy People's Choice for favorite local nonprofit. And who do we want them to vote for, Christine?
Kids Campaign.
So it's you have the option. It's $2 for vote, and you can vote once, and there's a 5-pack and a 10-pack.
Yeah. And voting continues till October 26th. Right. So,
right.
Yeah. And that will go to.
And then it will be at the event.
Right.
But we want to, let's get this People's Choice party started, because it's exciting. It's fun to watch people take time out for $2. It's just $2 to say, hey, I support you.
It's going to a worthy cause. I mean, $2 is the kind of money you can lose in the seat of your car. You drop it and you don't even reach down and get it necessarily right away. But $2 can actually make a tangible difference.
Full disclosure, it's the proceeds of that, because the processing fees can eat you alive, but not through. That's why I did it through the Benevolution Foundation's PayPal account, because PayPal gives a break for registered nonprofits. So it's less of a fee.
Yeah, I think people understand while there's a cost in collecting the money that can't be avoided, we can choose where that money goes to know that as much of it that can get into the community gets into the community.
Right.
It's not eaten up by administrative fees or fundraising fees or craziness that ends up where only 20 cents on the dollar ends up in the community. This is not
that's
one of those.
horrifying to me.
Oh my goodness. If you get a call from somebody requesting donor dollars, that's the question to ask. How much of my dollar, or 10 or 100, is actually going to the cause?
Lisa was in the car with me when I got one of those calls the other day.
Yes.
And I asked that question, and they actually told me that 85% was overhead.
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
85 overhead.
Yes.
15 cents on the dollar. 15 cents on the dollar went to whatever they were raising money for.
Firefighters or something.
Yeah.
But,
I love me some firefighters, but
Absolutely.
I will drive down to the station and give them a $20 bill.
Yeah.
Right.
Before, and look, I understand it's a business. People have to make money. I got it. I know how hard families work, and I know how hard local, all volunteer managed nonprofits work and do, and the amazing work they do in the communities. I'm a little passionate about this because I want every dollar to be empowered.
Yes, and the kids campaign can be empowered if you have a young person who would like to create a serving campaign. A great way to connect your teen, develop some benevolence in there, something that creates that intrinsic drive. We tell our kids what to do all day long, right? You need to, you should. Don't you want to? Well, if they don't want to, they're not going to continue doing it when they're grown. But if they experience it for themselves, if they experience how good it feels to know that instead of playing video games on a Sunday afternoon, they went out and mowed their neighbor's lawn, and that money went to help a family with pediatric cancer, they can feel so good about being engaged. They're not going to stop. The research is clear. They're going to continue to be engaged. And I think we all want to raise up those kids who are going to lead the future communities with that kind of engagement and empowering others and helping families like you do, Christine, with your amazing organization. So
we want to hear from our neighbors. Do you have a unique or an interesting way that you would like to, if you're a small business owner or if you're a neighbor, if you would like to connect, or if you have a serving campaign idea, you're welcome to send it to Kids Campaign. That is kidscampaignsharinglove.org. And you could also directly email it to them. It is kindnessindoingservice@gmail.com. That's kindnessindoingservice@gmail.com. I love it. That's kids. kindnessindoingservice@gmail.com. And you'll get to communicate with my dear friend Christine that I've known for years and who does wonderful things in the community.
And if you want to support local businesses in the community, come out on Sunday to the MarketSpace for Good with Madhouse Mindworks. Lauren will be doing braided wire drop-in jewelry class. And then September 17th is going to be the $20 turnaround, a class to help families take $20 and turn around their family finances. And you can register for either of those. Well, the jewelry class is just drop-in. You do need to bring some money, though, because she will be providing materials. So that's $10 a person. September 17th, you go on the Shop Local for Good Facebook page to get to the
Shop Local for Good is co-hosting it. MarketSpace for Good. It's on their event pages.
Okay, very good. And then
it has the link to the Eventbrite account.
Yeah, and there is a fee. It's around $10, but it does go to your workbook that you will be walking away with.
It is $10. And we are looking for guest hosts. Have you ever thought you'd like to be on the radio? We have an open call on shoplocalforgoodnews.com through our Contact Us page. If you'd like to learn what kind of work goes into putting together a radio show, feel free to reach out to us. We're also looking for inspirational stories of small business owners and nonprofit leaders doing good in our neighborhoods. So please feel free to send us your story, your neighbor's story, your favorite small business story at shoplocalforgoodnews.com. We will see you next Monday morning at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. We are looking forward to Monday motivating you every Monday for weeks to come.
Many Mondays that we are going to be talking about mac and cheese coming up November 3rd. We're excited to see you there too.
Yep. Thanks everybody for joining us. And thank you, Christine with Kids Campaign. Have a great week, everybody.